The world around you is full of traps keeping you weak. Despite this, the only way to be treated right by the world is to be strong. Here is the truth. All of these traps were put in place on purpose. Just look at what they try to make kids believe these days. If you control the male population, you control the world. Sadly, most men have fallen to these traps and have embraced these weaknesses. Let me ask you this. Do you want to be weak or strong? Then, let me reveal 7 habits that keep men weak. Number 1. Lying to yourself. The issue with most men who want to be something these days is this. They don't tell the truth to themselves. They blame others for their problems, and they tell themselves being fat is okay, all despite knowing deep inside what is the reality. Listen, you will never even get started if you don't settle the matter with yourself. You have to admit things are wrong in your life, and the main culprit for this is you. Without accepting this, you will always stay at the very bottom, not being able to rise even the tiniest margin. Get up, go to a mirror, and look at yourself. See all the problems you have. Then, open your mouth and say aloud that you are the reason for this, and you will fix it. Pause the video, do it now, and come back. Number 2. No accountability. Even if they accept something is wrong, most men have no accountability whatsoever. They say that they will get up at 6 the next morning and will be sleeping in their warm bed exactly at that time. They will come up with excuses like, I am depressed, or it was snowy outside. The truth is, they will stay weak as long as they keep doing this. You have to keep the promises you make to yourself. And if not, keep yourself accountable, figure out why actually you didn't do it, and do it immediately the next time. Listen, the men with no accountability are more dangerous than any man, but to themselves. They can do anything, and with no sense of responsibility for their actions, they will not even feel sorry for it. You need to start building accountability now, and the easiest way to do that is to start with small habits that you can do and build trust in yourself to get things done. So when you don't do it, you will know it was just you who prevented you from doing it. Start by making your bed every day, or drinking a glass of water every morning. When you don't do it, go and have a talk with yourself. Number 3. Friendship. In today's world, most people carelessly make friends, not even considering that they might harm each other. For most of history, men knew they had to have strong friends to survive. However, nowadays it is much harder to die in situations like war, so guys do not even care how their friends impact their lives. On top of this, they choose friends based on sharing some bad habits that will come soon after in this video. Think about it for a second. Men pick friends based on sharing destructive habits that keep both parties weak. Forget about the saying, iron sharpens iron. This is a case of rotten apple spoils the barrel. Mutual destruction. You, by now, should know that you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. If all 5 of your friends are weak, then you will be the 6th. If all 5 of your friends are strong masculine men, then you will also be the 6th. I think that speaks for itself. Number 4. Pornography. I have already talked about masturbation and pornography in one of my videos. The link should be in the cards. I will also put the link to a documentary about the effects of porn on your brain in that section. Briefly, porn destroys everything that drives a man. It destroys your reward circuitry and messes up your dopamine, therefore ruining your motivation. It devalues women in your eyes and causes you to see everything in a sexual way. It ruins your testosterone. There is no wonder most chronically online teenagers with pool noodles for arms fap 5, 6, or even more times per day. Listen to this very carefully. The solution to this is not nofap as most other YouTubers told you. Nofap has problems that make it much harder to quit than needed. The solution is to simply not to fap, which I explained in a very detailed way in the aforementioned video. But shortly, the way to achieve this is to dissociate yourself from the addiction. You should have a journal by this point. Open a blank page and write masturbation. Then, you will write repeatedly all its harmful traits. You will note down how it keeps you weak and build hate towards it. Afterwards, you will go to a mirror and say to yourself that fapping is disgusting and you have fully let that go, that you are no longer a person that faps. Fully dissociate yourself from it. From that point, every time you consider fapping, go open your journal and remind yourself that you don't fap. It will still be hard, but it will be much easier than counting days. Number 5. Video games. Playing video games is a habit most men have nowadays, and it is no coincidence. It is seemingly innocent, however. If you were to know what was going on in the strategic planning sections of video game companies, you might have not wanted to touch a controller ever again. Video games appeal to innate masculine desires such as competition, conquest, triumph, and status, and they demand only your time or money. Sadly, all of these things are fake. In the real world, to achieve these things you would have to put hard work and go through pain on top of your time. In these worlds, however, your time and money are all that is valued. I'm not saying that you should not play video games at all. But if you are not grinding in real life, you have no business wasting time and money grinding in a virtual world. Number 6. Social media. Social media is a fake world just like video games, but it demands even less from you. You just put in time and get constant stimulation in return. It is all fake, of course, and you probably already know how fast time flies by when you are scrolling TikTok. This is the well-known poison of social media, but it also has venom. Most people post on social media the best part of their lives, and it is all you see. When you compare all of your life to just the highlights of others, you will feel like shit and enter a constant comparison loop. Never forget, social media is a fake realm. You can't trust most things you see there. Listen, social media is a very powerful tool. That is how I am reaching out to you right now. However, it is a tool you either use or get used by. Do not be its slave. Number 7. Feelings. The most repeated phrase to young boys is, "Men don't cry." It is not fully true that men don't cry, but it is more true than wrong. You will see most men today get emotional even from the slightest issues, and this will sound weak even if you don't believe the phrase. Don't get me wrong, a man having emotions is completely normal. You should not try to get rid of your feelings. Rather, you should know how to control those emotions and how to put them to use. Masculine men will never cry if it doesn't benefit them, or it will damage their reputation. They choose when they allow that emotion to show. They use their emotions as fuel and as path showers, but they never allow them to take control. Emotional control is like an artery for masculinity, and you would never want to voluntarily cut it. If you lack emotional control and something makes you emotional, that thing can control you. A video on how to achieve full emotional control will come in the future, so don't forget to subscribe and like the video. Don't forget, knowledge without action is no use. After this video, you may watch more, but don't restrain from applying the information you gain to your life. Stay tuned for my next videos. We will all make it.